Hello, this is Breakfast with Susanna Reid and Charlie State.
The chief executive of Barclays Bank, Bob Diamond, has resigned with immediate effect. Good morning, it's Tuesday the 3rd of July.
Also ahead, many patients face shock. And we'll be looking at the invasion of the Spanish slum pest.
And Sally's at Wimbledon with the sport.
Barclays chief executive Bob Diamond has resigned with immediate effect this morning in the wake of the rate rigging scandal. He's been under pressure since it emerged last week that his bank had been rigging a key interest rate.
Well, Barclays chairman Marcus Aegis confirmed yesterday that he was resigning. Let's speak to our business editor now, Robert Peston. Robert, good morning to you. Bob Diamond had been under extraordinary pressure, but had seemed until that issue. We should just get your initial reaction to the resignation this morning of Bob Diamond. Was it ever realistic that he could have toughed this out?
Hey Alexander, you welcome the resignation of Bob Diamond today. You mentioned a second ago that there are numerous other banks that could be drawn into the same saga. Presumably, if they too are found to have been involved in this, we have a chief executive and a chairman of Barclays who have gone. You would say that that now is the appropriate reaction of any bank caught up in the Libor scandal.
Well, look,
the resignation of Bob Diamond this morning will increase pressure on extending this inquiry for us. Thanks very much.
Shocking variations in waiting times for dementia diagnosis is the conclusion of a report published today.
Plans to stop gangs sexually exploiting children in care are published today. They include improving records of missing children and tighter restrictions on the location of care homes.
A man is in a serious condition in hospital after being shot in the head at a solicitor's office in Devizes in Wiltshire. Please say.
A senior army officer has spoken out against plans to axe and merge regiments as part of government defence cuts. Now, the drinks manufacturer Britvic is recalling all bottles of Robinson's Fruit Shoot and Fruit Shoot Hydro due to a safety issue with its packaging.
The recall affects all products with a newly designed cap. It says customers should return the bottles to the retailer where they'll be given a full refund. Let's speak to our reporter.
It's been a double Mac morning and now it is a Mac and Brawley morning at Wimbledon. Morning, Carol. Ian, first thought there might be something wrong, or you thought there might be something wrong. How long did it take to get seen and dealt with?
To get an actual diagnosis, it was 18 months.
18 months?
Mm-hmm.
So talk us through the process. Who first thought there might be something wrong?
Well, I did, because...
Battle for that.
It is.
Yourself.
I know.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you so much for sharing.
26 minutes past 8. Let's remind you of our breaking news this morning.
Hello, this is Breakfast with Susanna Reid and Charlie State.
Good morning. Barclays chief executive Bob Diamond has quit. Bob Diamond tomorrow, as part of your inquiries. What are the questions that you'll now put to him? It's raised by our business editor Robert Peston. Bob Diamond resigned this morning because he felt he was hounded out by MPs. Now, is that something that you accept or are proud of? And this well remunerated leaves. What happens in terms of their pension? What happens in terms of their shares? Now, do you know, and what do you think should happen?
Rest of the news this morning now. Shocking variations in waiting times for dementia diagnosis is the conclusion of a report published.
Plans to stop gangs sexually exploiting children in care are published today. They include improving records of missing children and tighter restrictions on the location of care homes.
The man is in a serious condition in hospital after being shot in the head at a solicitor's office in Devizes in Wiltshire.
A senior army officer has spoken out against plans to axe and merge regiments as part of government defence cuts. In a letter to the head of
the children's drink Fruit Shoot are recalling all bottles which feature a new sports cap. Britvic say the move is precautionary and it's...
That brings you right up to date with all the main news, including the breaking news from Barclays this morning. It's 8:39. Here's what's coming up later on Breakfast.
Let's get the sport now with Sally at Wimbledon in the rain. No doubt you'll have heard the phrase singing for your supper, but how about singing for your supper, accommodation and everything else?
That's what our next guest did as he travelled along the Pennine Way. And he was performing in living rooms, pubs and churches and passed his sock around the room to see what he was worth.
Just a moment, we were speaking to Simon Armitage. A sense of the challenge you took on. Let's have a look at it now. Some difficult times, not least because you didn't have any money.
Yeah, well, every night I gave a reading and, as you say, passed a sock around. It was a clean one to begin with, and just said to people, put in what you thought.
Picture then. So, did you know where you were going to be each night?
Yeah.
But they didn't know. So, what would you do? You'd arrive at a B&B or a pub or something and say, "Hi, I'm Simon.
I haven't got any money.
I haven't got any money.
I can read you a poem.
And tell me what happens next." I mean, what would
I'd
people
put
say
a message up on.
Stay the night, but we want a little verse in the morning over breakfast. What would you give us?
Well,
and did you ever universally wonderful?
With about 3 weeks to go, there were still a couple of blanks in the itinerary where I wasn't sure. But one of the great things,
wandering lonely as a cloud, as wandering lonely through a whole load of clouds.
Yeah, with cloud.
Yeah, lovely to talk to you. And the book is called Walking Home, and it's published by Faber this week.
8:52 is the time now.
Lots of clouds around at Wimbledon.
So, not everyone hates the wet weather. Carol's been talking about the fast-breeding Spanish slug. Have you heard of that before?
Well, I've seen them on the programme. They're enormous.
Everywhere now, apparently.
They're revolting. They're feeding on petunias.
They're big.
Reporter Renap Urath is on their trail.
Dear. We asked for your pictures earlier on of slugs in your garden. Sure enough.
And you're a bird of some description?
Yes. If you want to eat slugs, then you could. Let's move on. Local communities are being encouraged to apply for permission to close some residential roads on a regular basis to allow children to play safely in the street.
Yes, a successful spread of street parties this summer is being held up as an example of how closing roads helps people to meet their neighbours and children to become healthier and more sociable. John Maguire reports. 9:02. Let's just remind you of the main news that has broken while we've been on air this morning. The Barclays chief executive Bob Diamond resigned this morning with immediate effect in the wake of the scandal which revealed that bankers were manipulating a key interest rate.
The Chancellor George Osborne has said British banks are broken, but there was now an opportunity to fix what has gone wrong in the industry.
Chancellor George Osborne speaking this morning. All the reaction to that resignation by Bob Diamond on the news channel. Here on Breakfast, though.
Yes, we'll be joined by Vicky McClure and Martin Compston, who are starring in a new TV drama looking into police corruption. First, though, here's a quick last look at what's happening where you are.
See you in a moment. Our next two guests, more used to playing characters who may not particularly trust the police, they've now joined forces for a new drama looking into police corruption.
First episode, which was broadcast on last Tuesday, got more than 3 million viewers, making it highest launching drama series on BBC Two since 2005.
Shall we mention what the drama's called? It's Line of Duty. And
Miles, there's always a bit of a shot at the end of me kind of lost.
Looking at what, slightly bewildered?
Yeah.
Yes.
Bit of both.
Do you want to take us back a few steps? Because it launched last week, and Vicky, your character in particular, is not at the end of the first episode what we thought she was, then transferred to a unit which investigates police corruption. Yeah. You investigate the unit where Vicky is an officer, and then it's revealed that actually Vicky's already working
I'm on his case
undercover.
Yeah.
People say, isn't it, police officers get younger, maybe it's as you get older. But that's part of the point of the story, isn't it? That you're relatively, well, you're not brand new in the job, but you're quite fresh in some respects, in terms of your attitude, but also in terms of what else is going on around you relative to other officers.
Yeah. I think
Do you know what? I got halfway through the first episode, watching all of you, until I realised it was Neil Morrissey.
Oh, really?
TV's Neil Morrissey.
Because he's playing so against type, isn't he? Let's have a look and see if you agree. This is Neil Morrissey, not your character, Martin's #1 fan. As we're going to find out here. Let's have a look. And he's walking with a stick as well.
The thing with Neil is, I mean, Neil's great. I mean, I think it's going to be really good for him because nobody's seen him play anything this dark. But
Martin, you started out not as an actor but as a footballer, didn't you?
Yeah, well, very Scottish.
What a choice that would be.
Yeah, it would have been. But no,
yeah. And you were playing David Tennant's. Indeed, you can see the next episode on BBC Two tonight at 9.
That's all from Breakfast this morning. Back tomorrow at 6, of course. We'll be joined by the comedian Jenny Eclair.
And keep across BBC News Channel for all of the latest developments after the resignation of Bob Diamond as Chief Executive of Barclays. Thanks for your company this morning. See you tomorrow. Have a good day. Bye-bye.